The name Ethan Nwaneri is once again making waves behind the scenes of English football, and with good reason. The young Arsenal prodigy, who at just 15 broke records to become the youngest player ever to feature for the Gunners in the Premier League, now finds himself at a decisive crossroads in his career. At 18, full of talent and expectation, Nwaneri stands between three paths: staying loyal to the club that nurtured him, accepting a loan move to gain much-needed minutes on the pitch, or rethinking the choices he made when he turned down approaches from giants such as Chelsea and Liverpool. It all began when Ethan was thrust into the spotlight at a remarkably young age. In September 2022, he came off the bench against Brentford at just 15 years and 181 days old, a record-breaking debut that seemed to herald the arrival of England's next great talent. Since then, the attacking midfielder has risen rapidly through Arsenal's youth ranks to earn a place among the professionals. Versatile, skillful, and boasting a tactical awareness well beyond his years, Nwaneri has already made 44 appearances for the London club, scoring 9 goals and providing 2 assists. Impressive numbers for a teenager still adapting to the pressure of playing for one of England's biggest sides. But football, like life, is full of highs and lows. This season, Ethan has been facing a reality very different from what many imagined. Despite the prestige of being regarded as one of Europe's brightest young prospects, and even being nominated for the 2025 Golden Boy Award, his opportunities have drastically diminished. So far, he has played only 146 minutes in the Premier League, a figure that frustrates both supporters and the player himself, who dreamed of a more prominent role. His only start came in a Carabao Cup tie against Port Vale, a low-profile match that hardly reflected his true potential. There are, however, clear reasons behind this lack of minutes. Mikel Arteta's Arsenal are stacked with experienced attacking talent. Norwegian maestro Martin Odegaard, despite occasional injuries, remains the creative heartbeat of the team. Alongside him, newcomers Eberechi Eze, signed from Crystal Palace, and Mikel Merino, brought in to bolster midfield options, have become Arteta's preferred choices. With a squad so rich in quality, Nwaneri has inevitably become a victim of hierarchy. Nevertheless, both the club and the player appear united on one key point: there is no rush. According to journalist Graham Bailey, neither Arsenal nor Nwaneri are considering a loan move in January. The reporter revealed that the midfielder is viewed as an important part of the present and the future of the club, and that his development should continue under Arteta's direct supervision. Bailey stated, "Ethan Nwaneri is a fundamental part of Arsenal's project. He's not just the future, he's already part of the present." Yet this faith doesn't stop the young star from wondering how long it will take before he earns a consistent run in the first team. While Arsenal are enjoying an excellent run, leading the Premier League with 5 wins from 7 matches, and showing strength in the Champions League, Nwaneri watches from the sidelines, desperate for his moment to shine. It's a paradoxical situation. The team is thriving, the project looks stable, yet opportunities for young players shrink as positive results reinforce the reliance on experienced names. What makes the story even more intriguing is what happened in the summer of 2025. During that period, Chelsea came knocking with a tempting proposal. According to Fabrizio Romano, the Stamford Bridge club showed serious interest in signing him, believing that the youngster could develop more freely in an environment with less immediate pressure to perform. The Blues reportedly inquired about his contract situation and made it clear that if there were any opening, they would submit a formal offer.
Romano explained that Chelsea were ready to pounce should any issues arise in negotiations between the player and Arsenal. They made it clear that if playing time or contract discussions became problematic, Chelsea would be ready to act, said the journalist. However, Ethan's love for the club that raised him spoke louder, and he chose to renew his deal. trusting that his time would come naturally. That decision, however, may now seem risky. As Bailey reported, Liverpool were also monitoring Nwaneri, albeit with a more long-term plan in mind. The Anfield side, now under the guidance of Arne Slot, viewed the midfielder as a strategic investment for 2026. The plan was to integrate him gradually into the squad, preparing him for a key role in a midfield currently being rebuilt under Slot's leadership. The Dutch manager has a strong reputation for nurturing young talent, and Liverpool's project is renowned for giving players the time and structure they need to flourish. For Nwaneri, a move to Anfield could have been the perfect springboard for his development. However, after committing his future to Arsenal, that door, at least for now, seems firmly closed. Ethan's decision, made out of confidence and loyalty, may have come more from the heart than the head. Modern football is unforgiving when it comes to time and opportunity. Players of his generation, such as Lamine Yamal at Barcelona or Alejandro Garnacho at Manchester United, already hold starring roles at their clubs, while Nwaneri continues to battle for visibility among more established teammates. The challenge becomes even greater when one looks at Arsenal's current midfield setup. Odegaard, at 26, is at the peak of his powers and unlikely to lose his place. Eze, 27, arrived with high expectations and has been delivering. With so many proven names, the question echoing among fans is, when will Nwaneri truly get his chance? Meanwhile, Chelsea and Liverpool remain vigilant, watching from a distance for any hint of discontent. Sources close to the player claim that if Ethan reaches the summer of 2026 without another renewal, clubs from across Europe will be ready to compete for his signature. Manchester City, PSG, and even Bundesliga sides have already expressed interest in securing him as a long-term prospect. It's fascinating to think that only a few years ago, Nwaneri was hailed as Arsenal's next wonderkid, the boy who embodied the future of the Hale End Academy. Now he finds himself stuck in limbo, too young to challenge for a starting role, yet too talented to languish on the bench. It's the kind of dilemma that can make or break a career. Even so, there are reasons for optimism. Arsenal are flying high, competing neck and neck with Arne Slot's Liverpool at the top of the Premier League, and progressing well in the Champions League. The pressure of a demanding fixture schedule may eventually open up opportunities, especially during injury spells or forced rotations. And when that chance arrives, Ethan Nwaneri knows he must seize it with everything he's got. On the other hand, many analysts believe a loan spell would be the ideal solution. Playing regularly, feeling the rhythm of competition, and gaining confidence could fast-track his maturity. Yet staying put also has its merit. It shows courage, patience, and faith in his own potential, qualities rare in a footballing world that so often prizes speed over process. As the spotlight shines on the high-profile battles between Arsenal and Liverpool, the undercurrent behind the scenes remains intense. Arne Slot, with his pragmatic style and sharp eye for young talent, continues to monitor the market closely. It would be no surprise if, in the not-so-distant future, the Dutchman reignited his interest in Ethan Nwaneri, especially if the player's frustration begins to grow.
For now, the young midfielder remains in London, training, waiting, and believing. His future is uncertain, but his story is far from over. Perhaps, in a few years, we'll look back and see that Nwaneri's patience paid off. Or maybe he'll decide to rewrite his path and seek new horizons, perhaps even under Arne Slot's command at Anfield, donning the red that once nearly won him over. One thing is certain: football loves irony, and Ethan Nwaneri's journey could well become one of the most fascinating stories of the new generation, a tale of talent, choices, and the eternal struggle between the present and the future. But the story doesn't end here. While Ethan Nwaneri fights to find his place at Arsenal, another name is stirring the European football scene.
rising coach Xabi Alonso may be about to send a powerful message to Liverpool regarding a formidable Real Madrid gem. Want to know who this wonder kid is and what could happen next? Then click the card beside and uncover the next chapter of this football saga.